Hey everybody, it's Uncle Mike. And guess what? It's time for a Coach's Corner. It's almost like a roundup. We've only been able to do two. This will be the second one we've done for baseball. I know Coach Tom's a little upset because Coach Leonard got like 11 Coach's Corners and he's gotten only one. So I'm really sorry to Coach Tom in regards to only doing one. But baseball's so tough because these guys are playing 3 times a week and we're trying to keep up with the Bayhawks. So we appreciate you watching. Stay tuned for the second Baseball Coach's Corner right after this.
Experience and trust has made Lewis Auto and Residential Glass the Northwest's leading choice since 1929. Whether it's on-the-spot rock chip repair or replacing your windshield, we have been trained and certified to strict national standards to ensure your safety. Our residential division offers the latest in vinyl windows, showers, mirrors, cut, and custom glass. Locally owned and operated since 1929, Lewis Auto and Residential Glass in Bellingham, Linden, and Mount Vernon.
Hey, welcome back. It's Uncle Mike here, and I am here with Coach Tom. It's been a long time, Tom. We appreciate your patience. I know you've wanted us to do several Coaches' Corners. We haven't had a chance, so we're kind of doing a roundup, but also a Coaches' Corner in regards to how great your team's been playing here lately. So why don't you give us a little insight of what's happened, how you feel the season has gone, and then I've got a couple really good questions for you.
Okay, well, overall, finished the year, the regular season at 9-11. Not quite what we had envisioned when the season started this year, but you know, we went out, we beat Linden and Linden Christian in the same 7-day stretch, so that's pretty cool. But you know, overall, it's been a good year. The kids, or the young gentlemen, are having a good year. They have a lot of fun. Getting pretty excited about what's coming up for us tomorrow, and seeing what we can do.
I think the bracket, we're talking about districts right now is what we're talking about. So we've won one, lost one in districts so far. I really think that this side of the bracket we're on is favorable to us.
You know, it's actually very favorable for us. We can get by Burlington tomorrow. There is a real clear-cut path for us to get to the state tournament this year.
And that's something I don't really, I mean, I know you wanted to be there.
Mm-hmm.
And with the injuries and things that you had with Alden and with Jake, I mean, those kind of things are things that aren't seeable in the crystal ball that coaches have in their bag of tricks. But you've really pulled a lot together with it.
Absolutely. I mean, we've got great contributions this year from kids that we weren't even expecting to play varsity this year, let alone give us meaningful innings and at-bats and spots on the mound. You know, Eli Good Buffalo and Eric Hillfield probably are the two most that I would call attention to, because both of those kids, when the season started, we projected them to be JV players and not varsity players. You know, our upperclassmen, our seniors, they have all given us more than I could have expected this year. We've had a phenomenal season from Owen Rasmussen. He's one of the top pitchers in the league. He's got a 1.51 ERA. I think he's got about 36 or 37 strikeouts, which puts him in the top 10 in the league. So that's something we did not see coming. We've gotten a great effort from Kai Nelson on the bump this year. Certainly was in our plans when the season started, but we didn't know we were going to get as good of a season from him on the mound as we did. So that's another highlight. But overall, you know, when we started this season together, I told these boys that we have enough talent here that we could make it out of the district round and get to the regional round. And granted, we don't have all of our tools with us, but the tools that we have gotten sharpened and are ready to go. Yeah.
I really have to say, too, that timely hitting, right? I mean,
Absolutely.
You've had some guys that, I mean, I look at Eric Hellfield and what he did when you first moved him up. I mean, he was like number 2 guy in all of Whatcom County for like 4 weeks and hitting, and nobody knew who he was.
Right. And that's you know, that's a testament to all the work that Eric has put in the off season. You know, by day, Eric is a hockey player. By night, he's a baseball player, is what I like to say. But he's a hardworking kid. He's really developed a lot between his freshman year and his sophomore year, and we wouldn't be here today without his contribution, no doubt. So we're really looking forward to seeing what some of these kids can do for us next year with this unexpected varsity season that they've had.
Yeah, the experience is priceless, right?
Absolutely.
I mean, it's priceless to be
Absolutely.
able to get them into some of the tough situations that you've been in. To beat a team like Linden and Linden Christian the first week. I mean, it's like the first time in 15 years
Yeah.
that Bellingham Raider or Bayhawk
Yeah.
baseball has beaten both those clubs
Yeah.
in the same week, let alone the same season.
Right.
So, what do you think? What do you think is going to be your biggest strength moving forward here in the tournament? Do you think it's going to be hitting, or do you think bringing Jake back on the mound? He had a heck of a game against Lakewood the other day. I mean, he was on point right from the get-go. What do you think your biggest strength's going to be?
Oh, without question, pitching and defense is what we have decided to build this house on. It's the foundation of everything we do. It would be nice if we had some more than just timely hitting, because it would be nice to be putting up some more runs than we've put up this year. But when I took over this program day one, I told these kids we were going to build this thing with pitching and defense, and that's what we've lived on this year. That's the only reason why we're here at the point in the season that we're at, is because our pitching's been phenomenal, and our defense most nights when we go out and play has been pretty good.
You've bunted the ball really well this year too. I mean, there's been some situations where the bunts come into play. That small ball game has come into play. You're hitting runs. I mean, you had Joe and Kai the other day. I mean, that was a moving, swinging. I don't know if you called it or not, but we won't talk about it. But it was a great play, and I scored Joe from first base.
Right.
I mean, that was timely.
Right. Well, absolutely, I called for it.
Good answer.
No, I will say this. We have bunted the ball much better this year than we have last year. We can still get better with it. We need to be more consistent with it as far as being able to get the bunt down. But I also expect the boys next year to be able to read the defense and be able to figure out where to put the ball down.
Yep.
Not just get the ball down, but where to put the ball down, because we can make that such a huge part of our game if we can get a lot better at it.
Right.
But at the same time, I also don't like to take the bat out of their hands either, because I love to see them hit, and I know they do too. And I'll be 100% honest. Every kid that we have out here is unselfish enough to know if coach asks them for a bunt, they're going to do everything they can to lay it down.
Yeah. So tell me what your biggest highlight has been so far this season, and what's going to roll you into next year.
For me, certainly the walk-off win, 10 innings against Seaholm was pretty special.
That's great.
Crosstown rival. Dane's got
City
a great
champs. You're
city champs. I don't want to put too much emphasis into that, because I'd rather be state champs than city champs.
Yep.
But every program needs stepping stones, and I guess that's probably our stepping stone. But for me, personally, I was really glad to see us get the monkey off our back down at the district tournament. Last year we had to play a play-in game and win that to get there, which is the first time we've done that in I don't know how many years. We got down there last year and we lost 2 straight. This year we got down there, didn't have to play the play-in game to get down there. Lost the first game to a very tough Anacortes team. Not that, they hit the ball around the yard a little bit on us. I thought we played a pretty good game, but they just outmatched us at the plate that day. But yeah, the win at district this year, it definitely will be in high regards after the season's over. I don't think we're done either. Like, I think we've got some more winning to do this week,
So
and
do
I
I.
think it's there for us, waiting for us to take it. People still don't believe that we're here and we're serious and we're competitive, so that kind of works to our advantage. We're the hunter right now, not the hunted, and I think as long as we remain in that light, it's only going to be positive for us. So a couple more wins at district would be great, and that's probably what I would take away as the highlight of our season, and would also like to use that as momentum building into next year.
Good. Is Thomas mad at you that you took probably 2 of his very best JV guys away from him? If you don't know, Thomas is his son, but also is the head JV baseball coach. And today they're out playing in the the Mel Walton tournament in Linden without Good Buffalo and Hellfield. So that's got to kind of set tough at the dinner table.
Well, it does, and it did. What I can tell you, unfortunately, is they lost to Anacortes 3-1. So, gosh, if both those guys would have gone out there and played it, it may have made a difference to where they could have gotten a W today instead of an L. But I will say this: the kids or the young men that they have on that team, they've competed this year without those two individuals for the biggest part of the year, and they have to learn and realize that you have to roll with the punches. You gotta play with the hand you're dealt. Yep. And so many times this year, when those boys have actually been down and played with the JV, they've played great baseball games. But today, it sounds like they played a really good game without those two guys, and that's a big growth step for that group of young men that are coming up in the near future. So pretty excited to see where they go Wednesday when they go back out there. I think they can win a couple of games and hopefully finish in the top 3 or top 4.
Yeah, very good. And that's definitely the building of the program.
Absolutely.
Right? Kind of what we were talking about earlier.
Absolutely.
We really have a great future ahead of us in Bellingham High School baseball.
Absolutely. And, I talked to him at the end of the year last year after they placed third in the Mall Walton. I told him, you guys, we're only going to get better if we get into the weight room, do the off-season work and that sort of thing. And that's going to be my mantra this year, is that we can't just rest on what we accomplished this year and hope it takes us into next year. We have to put the work in the time off the field to get better, to get to that program level that you see at a Linden High School or an Anacortes High School or a Linden Christian High School. And if they buy in on that, this program's going to be tough year in and year out. And when we have the really special players, we're going to be extremely tough.
Yeah. So just in a recap, you did an interview with the Zone, Alan Fee.
Right.
Talked a little bit with Alan about youth baseball in our community.
Sure.
So, and I know that he really wants to do a story in regards to youth baseball. Tell me what your thoughts are about youth baseball here in Bellingham, in Whatcom County. What are your thoughts about moving forward? I know that your position in youth baseball is a big position. What are your thoughts?
Well, youth baseball in the county is thriving. Ferndale has a really good youth sports program. Linden has an exceptional youth sports program. And that's unfortunately where we're lacking in Bellingham. I mean, we have a city of 100,000 people, I believe, was the last time a census came out. We should be drawing more than, well, this is rough radio math here, but about 55 kids for 3 high school varsity baseball teams. You probably go 10 years back, and I would bet that every school in the city of Bellingham had a varsity, junior varsity, and C team, and that's how dire the situation's kind of gotten for youth baseball here in the city of Bellingham. Another thing that I think would help us out a lot is if we could get middle school springtime football moved back to the fall, and we actually get spring baseball going again at the middle schools. That would help us immensely. But the bottom line is we have to figure out how to develop a rec program for kids 9 through 12, because if we don't, these numbers are going to just keep dwindling. And unfortunately, you might see a scenario where a Bellingham and a Squalicum have to combine to form a varsity team, or a Squalicum and a Sehome might have to come together to form a baseball program. And this game is too great and it's too wonderful to see the numbers get this low. So I believe it's on my shoulders to be one of the people that steps up and starts, hey, let's get youth baseball going again in the city, because it's definitely overdue and it's definitely needed.
Yeah. Well, just know that we're here to help you, okay? And we're gonna do whatever we can, whatever you need to get this thing off the ground. Media is here to help you.
Sure.
We're gonna do our best. So let's talk about leadership. You've had some great senior leaders. Your outfield has just been unbelievably anchored by the center fielder. Going to be tough to lose those guys.
Oh, 100%. 100%. We have gotten a great defensive season from Joe Toof out in center field. My opinion, I think he's the best center fielder in the conference. I know I'm a little biased, but
and so am I. Yeah.
I truly believe he's the best center fielder out in the conference. I think he's got a .98 fielding percentage this year, maybe even a .99 fielding percentage this year. So he, in my opinion, he has done a great job for us. Owen Rasmussen, when he's not pitching, plays in left field for us. He's done a phenomenal. He does, but he's really anchored down left field for us when he's not pitching, and he does a tremendous job. You know, had possibly the catch of the year in the Linden game where he went all the way back to the fence, ended up catching the ball and crashing the fence and holding on to the ball. So that's unbelievable. And then finally, but certainly not last, has been Reese Ficklin in right field. When I got here as my first year as a JV coach, Reese was a sophomore, and Reese has absolutely come leaps and bounds from where he was as a sophomore. He is a very, very good defensive right fielder for us, to the point to where, you know, I think, and again, I know I'm biased, but I think I've probably got the best outfield in the conference here defensively.
I have to agree with you. I mean, the hustle points, everything else that they do out there, there's been some shots that have been hit fairly deep that those guys have tracked down.
Absolutely.
Coach, anything else in closing? We sure appreciate you. Thank you so much for your time.
I would just like to say, if you can make it down to Anacortes tomorrow, first pitch is at 3:30. Love to have as many people down there supporting us, supporting these boys. They've worked hard all year long. They deserve it. And let's go get a dub tomorrow.
Yeah, thanks, Coach. Appreciate your time, buddy.
Thank you,
yeah,
Mike.
thank you. Yeah. Hey, I'll be right back with my closing comments. Hey, everybody, thanks so much for joining us today for today's Coach's Corner. Really, I'm sorry that we weren't able to do more because Coach Tom is so interesting. He's got so much to say. Make sure you stick around during the summer. We're going to do a lot of fun stuff during the summer. It's been a lot of fun all school year doing stuff for you guys. Make sure you join us for the next couple of baseball games because we're going to keep going until we hit that state championship. Thanks again. MMB Broadcasting is happy to bring you the events that we've been bringing to you throughout the year. We'll bring to you some kids baseball, I hope, throughout the summer. And thanks to our sponsors, Bell Bridal, JB Formal Wear, Lewis Auto Glass, of course, and Betia. Albert, we sure appreciate you. Look out for some of the fun stuff that we're going to do as well with ALH this summer in the way of our equipment drive for the Dominican Republic in January. That's going to be a lot of fun. We'll bring some of that stuff to you live on MMB Broadcasting. So for right now, thank you so much for a great baseball season. We appreciate it. We enjoy bringing it to you. Good night now.